Okay, so we're gonna start with our transabdominal approach. And this is curved linear probe. So anytime that we're using this probe, we're looking at like a big thing, right? So we're looking at like abdomen. We use this for babies. We use this for pelvic ultrasounds. We use this sometimes on really big legs. But this is gonna be like our main big probe here. So you'll go to transducer and I'll hit my probe and then I'll go to GYN. We'll see. So she's broken a little bit. She has some air in her. But you can see her little endometrium, which I can see 3 lines. So it looks like she might have a proliferative phase endometrium. Do you guys see anything? Come closer. So this is the fundus of the uterus. This is supposed to be the cervix, but she broke. We'll scan. I'm going to do a sagittal view here. I'm going to go to the right, push, take a picture there, and I'm going to go to the left and look this way. I'm surveying the whole uterus, right? Then I'm going to turn transvaginally, so towards me, and I'm going to look and take images from inferior to the cervix all the way up to like the fundus. As you can see, we keep going up. Take an image here and take an image here. So 4 slices that way too. Does that make sense? The reason we look at this is we're looking for abnormalities. We're looking for pathology. We got to scan the whole uterus back and forth because we're looking for fibroids. We're looking at the endometrium. We're looking at the phase of the endometrium, and so that's the best way to do that. So I think she has her ovaries. Okay, so then I would go out more, and you can see her little ovary right here. So then I'm going to survey that. I'm going to take a measurement, a length measurement, an AP measurement, and a width measurement. Then I'm going to, and then I'll put color on if she was a real person, you know. Let me go here. I like this setting better. You can see that she has a little bit of fluid in her endometrium. So she might be going into her period. So then I'm going to come over to the left and I'm going to look at her ovary over here. So I'm just pulling it to the left like this. It's really little movements, you know. We're not like looking at like a liver or gallbladder where you're moving around a lot. You're really just moving just slightly because these are little organs. Like this is only probably like 3 centimeters, so a little bit over an inch. So I'll look at this ovary and then I'll go trans on it to get its width and do vascular flow, and that's basically it for that. Okay, where you really like to go and where we can't practice in lab. And so you'll be learning a lot in clinicals, which everybody gets enough practice and they do really well, is the transvaginal. You will have a sterile cover, of course, and there will be like lubrication on that and gel on that, which helps us transmit the sound still. So everything, it's not necessarily sterile, but we keep it as sterile as we can. Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. So you're going to go to your settings here and look at how much clearer she is. Now we can really see her endometrium, right? So we are scanning this. As you go up, you're looking more, this is in an anteverted, right? As you go up, you're looking more at like the cervix. As I go down, I'm looking more at the fundal area. And I think that was a test question too, right? So up towards the cervix, down towards the fundus. So then I would just, like when I'm measuring, I'll measure like the endometrium from here to here, because you measure it in an anterior posterior measurement. So hers is 9.4. So she's probably about to ovulate. And then you will measure your uterus. So you'll try to get a good view of the fundus all the way to the cervix. Now another test question was, which one's better to measure? It's hard to see the whole uterus on these transvaginals, right? So technically a global view transabdominally is gonna give you the best measurement of the uterus. However, it's not impossible to measure this, and we do it all the time. So you'll measure length, you measure height, which is from anterior to posterior, and then a huge thing that I wanted to get in with you guys is you're gonna turn the probe towards yourself, and that's gonna give you a transvaginal view, which is technically also a coronal view in transvaginal. We're just gonna say it's transverse. Take coronal out, we're just doing transverse. So then to get the uterus, or to get the cervix, you're gonna lift up because your probe is like this, so technically it's looking down, right? So you're looking more at the cervix. Where'd you go? Let me find her again. There she is. Okay. So you're looking at the cervix. This is the rectum, supposed to be the rectum right there. And then you're going to take your images up. This is why they're on pads, or like you're on, like you have stirrups, because you have to raise the probe up past what the table goes, right, to look at the fundus. So then you'll take your images that way and then go all the way to fundus. Does that make a little bit more sense? If I can see her ovaries, there she is. That's what her, like, that's how much better the ovary looks like on. So much better, so much clearer. We can really see it. We can really evaluate it. We can look for follicles if we need to. We can do everything we need. And then, I don't know, she's too broken to see her left ovary, but it's there. We looked at it transabdominally. Any questions? A little bit better? A little bit, like, makes sense a little bit more? Okay, awesome.